we're just going to get in a squat position, and from here, the heels might be slightly off the ground as we go side to side. So what we're doing here is we're just stretching out the soleus and the Achilles, and also the calf, and then also a little bit of your plantar fascia as well. Just going side to side, bringing one heel off the ground, one heel onto the ground, and then what we're going to do is we're going to bring those elbows into play. We're going to make a prayer position with our hands, and from here we're just using those elbows to squeeze the knees out to the side, and just to open up those hips just a little bit more. There we go. Excellent. Just in that squat position, opening up the hips. Again, if that feels a little bit imbalanced, the sort of coordination isn't quite right, you can put your hands on the ground and you can use those elbows still to open up those hips. Good. Nice work. So you should be feeling those hips get nice and warm, nice and loose. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to get our left leg, we're just going to straighten it all the way out. We're going to have our heel on the ground and our toes pointing to the sky. We're going to have both hands on the ground, and you're going to feel a nice deep stretch in the inner thigh. So we're just going to take a nice big deep breath in, and take a deep breath out. Nice. Again, if the foot kind of falls in to its natural position, it doesn't matter, just as long as that heel's on the ground, you feel that nice deep stretch along that left inner thigh. From here, you're going to take a nice big deep breath in, and breathe out. From here, we're just going to come across to the left hand side. Again, right heel on the ground, both hands on the ground, and again, if you want to point the toes up to the sky, or they just fall in a little bit, that's completely fine. We just want to have that nice deep stretch along the right hand side of the inner thigh. Again, nice big deep breath in, nice big deep breath out. Breathe in, and breathe out. From here, we're just going to go back over to the right, so we're just going to move across, shifting the weight over to the right hand side, feeling that stretch on the left hand side again, heel on the ground, toes pointing to the sky, both hands on the ground for a little bit of support. In this foot, the plantar, the Achilles and the soleus is still getting a nice lovely stretch on the right hand side as well, because that heel's off the ground and we're putting a little bit of our weight through there, so I'm trying to stretch off that Achilles, that plantar fascia and that soleus as well. Take a nice big deep breath in, breathe out. Just feel that nice sort of pulling sensation down the inner thigh. Big breath in, and breathe out. One more time, we're just going to move over to the left hand side. Just going to stretch out that right hand, inner thigh, heel on the ground, toes to the sky, and again, we're just trying to press that heel into the ground on the right hand side. Feel that nice deep stretch along the inner thigh there. Again, big breath in, and breathe out. Nice work. You'll also probably feel, if you point your toes towards the right hand side wall, you'll feel a little bit of a deeper stretch in your inner thigh. If you bring your toes up to the sky, you'll kind of feel a little bit more of a subtle stretch in the inner thigh. Just go where you feel is comfortable for you. Big breath in. And breathe out. From here we're going to go back into the squat position. So we're just going to, heels are going to be off the ground, palms together, elbows, flare those knees out, trying to open up the hips. Again, we're just shifting our weight from side to side. And what we're doing just now is we're focusing on the inner thighs and the inner hip area, because sometimes the inside of our hips can get really, really tight. So these are called your adductors, where we're adding to the body. We just want to make sure those elbows are pushing those knees out, and you'll feel that nice deep stretch in that area. There we go. Good. And from here, what we're going to do now is we're going to go into tabletop position. So, knees shoulder width apart, hands shoulder width apart, and we're just going to move into cat-cow position. So as we breathe in, we're going to suck the belly button up towards the spine, curve the upper back. So we're breathing in here, and we're going to breathe out. We're going to lower the belly, extend the spine, like so. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Tuck that tailbone underneath, chin to chest, and breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last breath cycle, breathe in. And breathe out. From here I'm going to face you, because that's going to be a new one today. What we're going to do here is we're going to come up on your knees, like so. We're going to have our left leg facing forwards, but we're going to have our right leg facing to the side. Alright, so we're going to open up those hips again. And what we're going to do from here is just going to have our forearm resting on our thigh, and we're just going to move forwards. So you're going to feel a nice deep stretch in the inner thighs here, like so. Alright, so we're just holding that position. If you can, squeeze your back side to bring that left hip into play, like so. Come back to centre. Just shift your weight if you need to. Come back into that position. There we go, just hold that position. So it's a little bit of a different stretch, a little bit of a modified lunge position. Just open up the inner thigh, down the left hand side, up through the front hip, and also the inner thigh on the right hand side. From here, what I want you to do is get your left hand, reach up and across, breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And back down. Good work. From here, we're just going to bring that right leg back down into the centre. We're going to get the left leg, right leg pointing forwards, left leg out to the side, left hand just resting on that thigh, and from there we're going to feel that nice deep stretch on that right hand inside of the hip area. Good, just holding that position. You can feel that a little bit of a stretch in the soleus and in the Achilles as well, as we press that weight onto that left hand lower leg. From here, we're going to take a nice big deep breath in, come up and breathe out. Big breath in. Breathe out, reach across. Breathe in. And breathe out. Back to centre. Good work from here. Knees point forwards. What we're going to do from here is turn to the side. We're going to get our right leg. We're just going to stick it out in front of us. We're going to lock that knee out, and what we're going to do is we're going to stretch those hamstrings. So we're going to get those both hands, we're going to get them on the ground. We're going to feel that nice, lovely deep stretch up the back of our legs. Again, if you can get your palms onto the ground, amazing. Just now I can just get my fingertips, just because those hamstrings are really, really tight. Again, nice big deep breaths in. And breathe out. You can also do what I'm doing here. I'm putting my hand on my kneecap just to keep it extended, so when I'm pushing down it doesn't pop up. So I'm just putting a little bit of weight on there and using that left hand for a little bit of balance. Big breath in. And breathe out. You might start to feel this slowly travel into your calf as well as your knees fully extended. Big breath in. Breathe out. Try and bring those hands a little bit further away from the body. Really get that nice deep stretch in the back of the leg. Excellent work, guys. Just hold that position. The hamstring, the calf should get nice and warm. Maybe some people feel a little bit of pins and needles. That's just your nerves start to stretch out as well. Big breath in. Breathe out. Excellent work. From here we're just going to bring that right leg back in to meet the left leg. And we're just going to do the exact same with the opposite. We're going to put our left leg straight out in front of us. And again, just go to where you feel is comfortable. The further you have your right leg, the back leg, away from the left leg will also maximise the stretch on the back of the leg. If you bring that right knee a little bit forwards, you can feel that the tension in the back of the left leg decreases ever so slightly. Again, from here, nice big deep breath in. And breathe out. Excellent work. There we go. Big breath in. And breathe out. So every time you come to the class, you should be trying to feel the areas that you feel are most tight in comparison to others. So right now I can feel that my left hamstring is a lot tighter than my right hamstring. So after the classes during the week, you should be really trying to focus on these tight areas that I'm exploiting in the class. And these just give you a sort of a gauge of where you should be focusing your energy on. Big breath in. And breathe out. Now I can just start to feel that hamstring release. It's starting to loosen off a little bit, it's starting to get nice and warm. It's starting to become a lot more supple, a lot more mobile. Big breath in. Breathe out. Excellent work. Again, if you can get your hands all the way to your toes, bring your chest to your knee, amazing. Just go as far as you feel comfortable. Don't be overstretching because we can also get injured that way as well. Big breath in, last breath cycle, breathe in. And breathe out. Excellent work. From here we're just back in a tabletop position. From here what we're going to do is we're going to get our left leg, we're going to put it out to the side, and again we're focusing on the inner thigh and the inner hip. From here we're going to lengthen out that left leg, and from here we're going to cat-cow from this position. So as we breathe in, we're going to chin to chest, tuck the pelvis underneath, breathe out, full extension, and really feel that inner thigh stretch off as we're in full extension here. Breathe in, chin to chest, breathe out, good work. Breathe in, breathe out. As we get a nice dip in our lumbar spine, as we stick our backside out, you'll feel that hip, those inner thighs really stretch off. Big breath in, chin to chest, belly button to spine, and breathe out. Excellent work, just bring that left foot back in. We're going to do the exact same on the right hand side, so we're just going to bring that right leg out as far as we can, as far as we feel comfortable, without getting any sort of cramp in the hip flexors. Usually this can bring on, when people get tight hip flexors, they can feel a little bit of a cramp coming on the extended leg. From here what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in, tuck that pelvis underneath, belly button to spine, chin to chest, breathe in, breathe out. And really try and focus on the knife edge of the right hand foot, push that into the ground. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Last breath cycle, breathe in. And breathe out. Excellent work, just hold that position for that last little bit of stretch in the right hand thigh. And bring that back in. From here what we're going to do is half downward dog, so we're going to get our right leg, we're going to push it all the way out. And from here we're just going to bring our left leg off the ground, and we're just going to stretch that calf. Again, if you want a little bit of a rest, you can keep that knee on the ground. You're just pushing your heel back, but to get a little bit more of a stretch in that calf, just bring that left leg off the ground. Hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back down, switching sides, left leg out, heel, trying to press it onto the ground if you can, half downward dog, just bring that right knee up, there we go, just pedaling that back knee, so that back heel onto the ground, just trying to really stretch off those lower limbs, there we go. Pressing it down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down. Excellent work from here, bring that left foot back in. What we're going to be doing now is a modified pigeon pose, where we're going to have our right leg, we're going to have it out in front of us, we're going to get our left leg, we're going to sit back, and then we're going to bring that straight out to the left hand side. We're then going to bring it over to the right, sit back into the pigeon pose position, back out to the left, breathe in on the way out, breathe out, on the way down, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. So what we're looking for here is just some mobility in the hip capsule, getting that ball and socket joint moving on the right hand side, also releasing the lumbar spine. Some people, as they sit back into this position in the pigeon pose, might get a few cracks in their lower back. Breathe in, breathe out. Last one, big breath in, breathe out, bring it across to the right hand side, and then all we're going to do here is now sit back into that pigeon pose position. There we go, excellent work. Just getting that hip capsule nice and warm before then we sit in that stationary position. Excellent. Again, big breath in, big breath out. Big breath in. And breathe out. Just bring that right leg back to centre, back into tabletop position. And from here we're going to get a left leg, we're going to bring that out in front of us. And from here we're going to do the exact same with the right leg, out to the side, into the left hand side. And we're going to breathe out and the way out, and breathe in and the way out, breathe out on the way down. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. Again, just go at your own pace. If you want to sink a little bit lower into the pigeon pose stretch, by all means do so. Again, all the way up to the side, back down, all the way to the side, back down. So all I want to do is make sure that when we're coming down to the left hand side, the knee touches the bottom of the ground, back up and across. The knee comes down, feel that stretch in the glutes, up and across. To the left, all the way down, over to the right hand side, toe touch, keep that leg straight, come down, excellent work. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Last cycle, from here, toe touch, and down, and then get into that pigeon pose stretch. Nice deep stretch. And what that done there was warm up the hip capsule to make sure that your tight side is a lot more mobile and supple and warm to go into this intense pigeon pose hold than if it was going in cold. There we go. Again, big breaths in. Breathe out. And again, when you breathe out, try and walk that right knee a little bit further back, and then you're going to start to feel that nice deep stretch in the left hand back side. Big breath in. And breathe out. Walk those toes back, walk that right knee back, and start to lower yourself into that space in the centre. Good. Big breath in. And breathe out. Excellent work, guys. You're doing well. We're almost there. Big breath in. Last breath cycle. Breathe in. And breathe out. Just hold for 5, 4, 3, tabletop position. From here what I want us to do is curl the toes underneath, and we're going to palms on the ground, shoulder width apart. We're just going to tuck the tailbone underneath, and we're going to lift ourselves up as high as we can, and the hips nice and high, arms in full extension. We're just going to pedal with the heels, stretching out the hamstrings and the calves. We're just stretching out that whole kinetic chain on the back of our legs. There we go. And again, just spend more time on the areas that you feel are more tight than the others. Good work. We'll hold here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back into tabletop position. Lower yourself down nice and easy. From here, what we're going to do is child's pose, feet together, knees apart. And from here, we're just going to do a modified version. So instead of the one where we reach all the way out, what we're actually going to do is we're going to use our elbows. We're going to bring our elbows all the way to the ground. We're going to clasp our hands over our head, like so. And what we're trying to do here is you'll feel a little bit of a stretch in your triceps as you bring those hands all the way further back to your neck. You might feel a little bit of a tricep stretch. You might feel this in your lats, on the side of your back. And from here, as you try and lengthen your neck, you're going to feel your upper back switch on. There we go. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you lengthen the neck, you will feel your rhomboid switch on. You'll feel that thoracic spine compress, lock in, and become nice and stable. Big breath in. And breathe out. That's good work. Big breath in. And breathe out. Last breath cycle, breathe in. And breathe out. And then just bring your hands all the way down. And from here, trying to sit your backside back onto your heels. And we're just going into normal child's pose, breathing in. And breathe out. All I want to do here is just close your eyes and just focus on your breath. I want you to just focus on breathing in through your belly and breathing out. I want you to focus on how good your body's feeling right now, how warm your body feels, how warm your muscles and joints all feel at this moment in time. Again, just breathing in through the belly and out. Breathe in through the belly and out. And when you're ready, just come back up into tabletop position. Coming down to the side. Ooh. Class done. Excellent work, guys. I hope you enjoyed the different moves.